CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken's here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video, and happy to say I think we are done with the season. This has been a very difficult, one of the more difficult pushes towards the end, and one of the lower, seems like anyways, finishes that we've had in Warships in the pretty recent time. So we're going to talk about that and more. If you guys haven't already, make sure you check out the shop. We got some pretty good deals in here. Still haven't got them yet myself, but I will be scooping these up at some point. It's too much loot. And if you're going to grab them, appreciate it. If you throw in that code CHICKEN, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, all the YouTube stuff. And here we are, guys. So 23 and 5 stars. We made it to rank 23. I mean, the log does say go, but I think we're going to hang it up right here. So let's talk about everything. So first off, if you want to copy this base, shout out to Derek in Chicken Chips. This is his base. I mean, I basically switched to it. I was using the same base I was using yesterday. I lost the first 3 this morning going for my chest. I dropped into 21. I grabbed this one. We copied this base, and we were off to the races. It was pretty well just straight wins. So if we're looking at, in terms of the top 500 cutoff, this puts 23 and 5 puts me at 220 something, 269. So it's gonna be a low cutoff, whatever it ends up being. I don't really know if I'm actually safe right now. That seems very low, but the current bottom 500 is 2226 with, you know, a day left basically. By the time this comes out, that's probably gonna be all she wrote. So yeah, so copy that base. Again, shout out to Derek in the Chicken Chips. And yeah, like I said, it was not an easy push. Everything came down to 2 or 3 seconds, it seemed like. He's got the negative note on the GBE, interesting. But yeah, that's where I got it from, so I want to give a shout out to Derek. Now, tech tree, okay? So what did we actually need for our final push here? So we did get the DBD, and that seemed to, like, we weren't winning because of defense, for sure. Like, it wasn't just like an easy base ride push like it can be sometimes. I don't think I had one of those pushes this season. It was more so just really locking down the attack. That's what seemed to bring it home for us. So the MVP of this season in terms of tech choices, I would say, is the Sky Shield. That thing, that one building made such a difference on all these bases. But yeah, my next unlock, if I do need to go back in for whatever reason, would have been the Grappler. So DBD Grappler is very good, but it's not as good as the 200 building health. You have to have that. It's kind of annoying because none of these things are really push points. They're more like have-to-haves. Like, it doesn't, like, none of them, like, you're not going to unlock the Grappler and be like, boom, you know, straight to rank 23, 24. Like, you gotta grind it out no matter what you do. And I was facing a lot of Grappler bases, and I was able to beat them. So let's go over some of these last few hits here. So I really got good at these bases as long as the base was like this and not like a weird front-loaded one. I never did crack those. I only saw like 2 of them. And the last one I fizzled really badly on. I'll show you that one too. But let's talk about these. So I think this hit was also from Derek, but basically here's what I did almost each and every single time. So 1 heavy chopper, 2 bombardiers from the right side, flare them onto that mortar, 1-1 right here, and then 1-2 from down here. Now, I think what I was doing yesterday was I was going 2 heavy choppers down here, and then just leaving 1-2 for the top. I found putting the 1-1 right here was usually better, because what would happen was these guys would clear all this stuff, and then by the time these guys got here, the rocket would be shooting that heavy chopper. Because if not, you have to shock this little thing like 3 times, which is annoying. Because what will happen is your heavy chopper from the bottom will be up here, your bombers will be kind of ready to split over here. You just end up wasting a ton of GB for like 1 boom cannon and 1 rocket, which is not really efficient. So yeah, 1-1 and then 1-2 from the very bottom. So we'll play it slow here. Now the biggest thing about this attack is to delay Kavan. If you put Kavan out early, he's just going to get caught up in stuff you don't want him anywhere near. There's lots of boom mines. He's going to take lots of damage. Like, it happened a lot where Kavan would die right in this area. So I would almost clear up to that engine before even putting him out there. Because you also don't need him. Like, the only time I would put him out early is if I was getting a lot of damage on my bombardiers and I needed them healed up. But even that, like, it's not a big deal. Unless they're about to run through a bunch of mines or, you know, they're open to a rocket, which on that side they're not typically. So you see right there, that's when we put in Kavan. That's where we put in Kavan, and he's going to be useful there. All this stuff we can shock in this middle kind of area over here. And you see this rocket is still for the time being focused on that heavy chopper. We'll see it switch in a minute. These guys are good just to free clear up there. Kavan, second Wyndham, maybe throw a shock down on that boom cannon. But you see, this is the problem area, is this stupid bottom corner. And if you get a weird split... Now, even those level 1 riflemen can come in pretty handy, because they will distract the boom cannon the same amount as max level ones, right? It is single target, so it doesn't matter. So putting a second wind or a remote defib, like right at P2 almost, right where those mines are, that can usually be pretty valuable. You got to be careful though, because if you don't have rifles unlocked, you don't want a lot of them. So you don't want to necessarily do it super early and get a bunch of them on the screen. But if a few of them pop out and you get a couple heavies, then I think that's kind of what you want ideally in that situation. So then we have the middle here. Let's break this down. So two things are going to happen. And this one was weird because you don't typically see a shock launcher on this side, so I think I did end up shocking it at one point. But two things are going to happen. One, all your troops are going to stand on this edge, right on that line, like all your bombers, and they're going to take like absolutely forever to walk around the side. So it's really important to get them moving, because ideally how you want these attacks to go is you want them to funnel both sides pretty well at the same time. So you want these engines under the sky shield. You want the back one and the front one pretty well going down at the same time. The back one from these guys, and then the front one from whatever troops are over here. Your main kill squad should really be on this side. I've got more troops kind of in the middle on this attack, but I think more of them will come up and funnel left. But yeah, that's the idea. So yeah, I do hit that shock launcher just because it was really slowing them down from getting across. And yeah, you don't want them to waste too much time in the middle, like they kind of are right now. But it's also not the worst thing in the world if they pick off a few defenses. So what I'll do in this situation, so what we just talked about is we want a lot of them on the right. We can just force them over here with defib. We can use defib on that side. Now, if you have barrage, this is where barrage can actually be pretty handy. So you see this critter launcher under the sky shield, right? That's going to slow us down tremendously. That's going to drastically slow down our times, okay? So what we can do is, if we have enough troops here, like these heavies aren't doing anything. All they're doing is collecting critters. And the problem with that is not only will it slow down and obviously eat your troops and stuff, if your bombers are focused on an engine and the critter launcher starts firing critters out right in front of them, they'll eventually swap. Like, they won't stay on the same thing they're targeted to. They'll swap from the engine onto the critter launchers. So that's why I had two under my sky shield, because that really... That saved me a few matches, was just the bombers on the engine then swapping to the critter launcher. So what we can do here, if there's enough of them built up, is we can actually barrage our heavies. So that does two things. It obviously kills some of the critter launcher critters. And two, it leaves our heavies alive to do damage, and it keeps the boom cannons and shock launchers and stuff distracted, opposed to, if you don't have barrage, you can smoke them, but then you're leaving your bombardiers wide open, right? So you see right there, I throw down the barrage right on top of the heavies, right on top of Kavan. Do not care. It distracted that critter just long enough, and then we're already on both engines at the exact same time, and boom. That's exactly how we want that to go down. We want both of those to go down at the exact same time. So that's the base. That's the attack. It is very frustrating, and it's a very annoying attack, because honestly, a lot of it just comes down to random ass targeting. Comes down to how the critter launchers shoot, which troops get pulled into them. It was a very, very frustrating meta. So I'll show you guys this just on a funny note. I was so mad here, dude. I was at 2270 on a win streak, so I was just a couple wins away from hitting 23, I think, or it was 2260 or something. I was doing well at this point. And then I saw this base and I was like, oh god, I have no idea what to do on this. So don't do whatever I did here. I think the best way to hit these is to come around from the top. That's probably why he's got all those mines there. or go maybe 4-4 from the bottom, because I just fizzled out completely on this base, and it was really, really, really bad. Also, laser rangers probably would make more sense. Like, take 2 or 3 boats of lasers on this, and you probably rip right through it. You gotta be careful, obviously, but you need to have more GB because you're not using GB to put out bombardiers. So, I wanted to share that one because it was funny, and I did fizzle pretty hard. And now that we made 23, I can look back on it and laugh. But before, it was the blood rush was up. So, there it is. There it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a good finish to your season. It seems like a lot of people aren't really playing because I think just it took so long to get chests and 6. A lot of people just hung it up, which I totally understand. And it's a beautiful weekend, so I hope you guys get your warships in, get out there, have some fun. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Catch you in the next one. Chicken out. Bang, bang.